How'd that go?
But I think that just, I don't know, Buffalo is just riding the wave right now based off emotions, Lamar Hamlin. So I think they got this. I don't see it.
We're going to get into that.
Let's jump right in. Hey, what's going on, Smitty? Tuesday night, and boy, has it been a minute for us.
Been a long time. Salutations, everyone. Happy Tuesday. We're back. Ray, what do we got?
Back in action. I mean, hey, we got a lot. We got bottom feeders going on. This is episode 26, and yes, we are the bottom feeders. What does that mean? It means we're arguably the bottom three worst teams in the NFL, 2 or 3. We'll throw Carolina in there. Then we got the Giants and the Pats. I mean, I think that's a pretty fair assessment.
Yeah, I agree with that. We're looking forward to, like I said before, we're looking forward to the draft. At least I was. I don't know about you, Ray. I know you still have high hopes for Mac Jones. The kid looks like he was. I think the interview that I saw, he looked like he was going to cry the other day, but that's neither here or there. I know that I'm looking forward to the draft. What are you looking forward to with your Pats?
Honestly, I'm just kind of looking forward to see where the hell we're going. What's going on? I mean, there's some grumblings that Bill might be on his bags could be packed on his way somewhere else. I mean, are we going to get through the bye without the GOAT? And I mean, I'm assuming you got to let the guy finish out the season, Smitty. You got to let the guy finish out the season. You don't cut him off like that.
But let's be clear on that. I mean, the articles or the what you're hearing is that is he deciding to walk away from it, or are the Pats, is Kraft trying to say sayonara, Bill?
I'm not really sure what the heck is going on, to be honest with you. It sounds like it's all speculation. I think it's just people creating some kind of drama. There's no possible way we're going to get rid of this guy at the bye. This guy's brought 6 championships. To just say, you know what, Bill, I think it's dirty. But at the same time, I mean, you watched this game, right? You watched the game Sunday morning. Did you watch it?
I did watch it.
It was.
You know what? Wait, let me go back. Let me keep it real. Let me keep it 100% with you. I watched a little bit of it. I saw how bad it was.
Yep.
I know a bad game when I see one, especially nowadays with my team, and I decided to cut the plug.
Okay.
I couldn't watch all of it.
Yeah, so I watched it, obviously, because I am a Pats fan. And you know what? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? To say that I was extremely disappointed towards the end of the game is an understatement. I don't understand, first of all, what the hell Mac Jones was doing throwing that ball. Number one, what are you doing throwing that ball over the middle, lobbing it over the middle? Did I mention it was a lob over the middle? You don't do that. That's kind of 101. I really wish I was in his brain to know what he was thinking. But before that, we're moving the ball, pounding the ball. And now we're going to throw the ball on first down. Why are we switching what's working? If it's working, don't change it. It's very simple. Keep handing the ball off to Ramondre, work in Zeke, and then call it a day. I'm pretty sure in the beginning of all this, Smitty, the mess of this season, I was excited, to say the least, about the addition of Bill O'Brien.
Yes, you were.
I was very excited. I thought, you know what, Mac, he's going to have his chance. He's going to come back. He's going to prove his rookie season was not a fluke. Now I'm kind of curious on whether or not it's Mac. Is it O'Brien? Because the play calling is suspect. The play calling's been suspect. He's not set up for success, and he's not making plays at the time that we need him to make the play.
So let's take it back a little bit. Okay, Bill O'Reilly, right? That's his name?
Bill O'Brien. Billy O'Brien.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
he's got experience as an OC, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's got experience as an OC. Last year, Mac Jones, what was his numbers? Let's look at that. You know what I mean? Compared to this year, um, did he improve from last year?
I would say, honestly, I haven't even looked at the numbers from last year to this year.
And then also, let's take into accountability that the Pats didn't have an OC last year, correct?
They did not. They
Right,
did not have an OC last year. We were stuck with Joe Judge and freaking Matt Patricia. So,
right.
yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know because there's obviously Belichick feels a certain way towards Mac Jones. Now you see the OC arguing with him. He wasn't pleased on the sidelines. There was video footage that showed how upset he was with Mac Jones after the play that you just mentioned, I believe. So that just, it's like chaos going on in there. You know what I mean? And then bring the factor in. I don't know how much credibility that story has as far as Bill Belichick leaving. I don't know whether he's deciding to leave, whether they're just going to cut him loose. I think that we touched on that on a previous episode.
Yes.
Off the hook. And we mentioned that, I mean, it's strictly business nowadays. It's, you got to look out for the team.
Understood. Understood.
Even though if he's one of the greatest coaches out there, absolutely, but they're not winning right now.
No, they're not winning. They're not winning at all. So, looking back at last year, so we'll go that last year, this year, rookie year, right? Rookie year was his best year. He threw for 3,800 yards, completed 67% of his passes, 22 touchdowns to 13 picks. QBR, I'm not really sure what that is. Last year he stunk, 29, 97, 14, and 11. This year, 65.2% completion percentage. This year, he's 65.4, so he's a 2/10 better. Obviously, the season's not completed yet. He might not touch what he did last year. He's got 10 picks and 10 touchdowns. So his ratio stinks. He stinks. Mac Jones stinks this year. I don't know what else to say. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. Mac Jones was a huge letdown. Bill O'Brien was an enormous letdown. And that's pretty much wraps up the season for me, Smitty. We're 2-8. We're going into a bye, and then it's the game of the century on the 26th between the New York Football Giants and the Patriots.
So listen, if we look at the draft, right? I mean, if the draft was to take place, let's say today or tomorrow, we're looking at Chicago, right, with the number 1 pick. That was the Panthers, right? The other Panthers, and then the Giants, and then you guys. Now, who would you pick if you was, if you had a choice of the draft pick? Who would you pick?
I mean, let's say we get the 4th or 5th pick. I think Caleb Williams is gone. I think Drake May is gone. That kind of leaves us with Michael Penix as for quarterback, or we could, stretch it a little bit and hope for Marvin Harrison Jr. We need offense. We're struggling on offense. I think our defense this year has done a pretty solid job, considering we lost our rookie lockdown corner. Yeah, he was a shutdown corner, Christian Gonzalez. Big. That was a loss. Jack Jones, we just let Jack Jones go. That guy can't get his head screwed on straight. Apparently, he's not a guy for the Patriots organization. But at the same time, listen to some other guys out there saying that Jack Jones he's already got his team. He's already got another team. His agent probably told him, "Hey, don't worry about it. I got another job for you coming up. Keep acting the way you're acting. We'll get you off of this dumpster fire here in New England." And then obviously we lost our All-Pro, Pro Bowl DN outside linebacker and Matthew Judon. I mean, those are 2 huge blows. So, with that being said,
There's
it's
there's some key injuries that you guys have.
oh yeah, we're banged up. We're banged up, but those two right there, I think, were huge. It's nice to see Keon White get on the field. I'm a fan of him. I think he can get after the quarterback. But no, we're in trouble. We're in trouble.
So,
But
now, is it safe to say that you've given up on Mac Jones?
I'm off the island. I sold my tickets. My ship has sunk.
So, in other words, would you be looking forward to your team drafting a quarterback?
I'm not really sure that I am excited about our team drafting a quarterback. I will say I love Drake May. I love Drake May. If we could get a quarterback, I want Drake May. They say Caleb Williams is generational talent. I'm not so sure. I'd want to have him on any part of the team. And by the way, it's been a minute, Smitty. And there was a report that came out saying that Caleb Williams wants part ownership to whoever drafts him. Now, listen, buddy, since you said that, you've lost 2 or 3 games. You're no longer a front runner for the Heisman. You're no longer a front runner. You're not even going to make the playoff, for crying out loud. And you're out here making demands like you are somebody that's not even going to win a national title. But, I mean, that kind of is that a player you want to draft on your team that already wants stock and ownership? Get the hell out of here.
Absolutely not.
Get out of here. You're not.
Absolutely not. I mean, if you're asking me as a Giants fan, I mean, I would look forward to my team drafting Drake May as well.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these, this is the source according to Ryan Wilson, the NFL mock draft. And I'm looking at this kid. He goes by the name of Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Oh, out of Alabama.
Right.
Yes.
And he's up there too. He's a cornerback, right?
Cornerback. Yep. He actually changed I believe he changed his name. I do not believe that is his actual birth.
No, that's not his government. No,
that is not his actual birth name.
Well, let's hope. You know what? Nowadays, you never know, but let's hope that that's not his government.
JaQuincy. So it is JaQuincy Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Okay, so he goes by Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
you never know nowadays. You got these. You got these kids by
bro.
You got these kids. Sauce. What's the other one?
Sauce Gardner. Oh yeah. But it's all NIL. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to make a buck. I can't blame them. I can't blame them.
Yeah, evidently. I mean, you know what? I mean, I don't want to get stuck on our teams. They're terrible. Facts are facts. We got to look forward to the draft, Ray. That's the only thing. We got to look forward to the future. And if change comes along the way, change comes along the way. I mean, like, you're a Pats fan, I'm a Giants fan. I mean, we got players that we like in our teams, but if they need to go, they need to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when it's time to go, it's time to go.
So listen, let's talk about other teams if you want to move along now.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you want to tackle first? The AFC East?
I mean, we can go over the AFC East. Honestly, I don't know what the hell's going on in the AFC East. This has got to be the most confusing football year. We see Miami Dolphins sitting at the top, right?
You know what? I've been meaning to ask you about that.
Yes,
I really have.
Please,
because I know you was big on their head coach there.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, you said he's a genius, right? However, the Miami Dolphins are, and I could be wrong on this one, 0-6 against winning teams since last year. And Buffalo, that's a team that I don't know what happened to Buffalo. I think there's some chemistry that is gone in that team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of disagreements that are going on. They're obvious.
You know what, though, with Buffalo, too? They're banged up. They're hurting.
Yeah.
They lost their top linebacker.
Right.
You know what I mean? Milano.
Yeah.
That was a big blow. They lost Tre'Davious White. He's a lockdown corner. So, you just throw those two guys. That's a big blow to that team. So
what? My question is, you know what? And absolutely, I agree with you 100%. You're dead on when it comes to that. What's going on with Josh Allen, though?
Well, Ken Dorsey got fired last night after the football game. Ken Dorsey's out. Joe Brady is in. By the way, Joe Brady was the quarterback and receivers coach, I believe, at LSU in 2019. Do you know who played on that 2019 football team, LSU?
Who's that?
That was probably the greatest offense in the history of college football. That would be Joe Shiesty, Joey B. Burrow. So did this guy, did Joe Brady make Joe Burrow? No, he definitely didn't. But he definitely put him in a position to become the most successful college quarterback that we've probably ever watched in college. Honestly, greatest season ever. I mean, does that make is that going to make Josh Allen the greatest quarterback in the NFL? No.
Yeah.
But hopefully it gives him some confidence to kind of move forward here after a 5-5 slide. I mean, the Buffalo Bills have lost 2 in a row. They've lost 2 in a row. Let's see. 3 out of their last 5. Actually, 3 out of the last 4. So they lost 3 out of their last 4 games. Yeah, that's bad.
They lost to the Broncos, bro.
They lost to the Broncos.
That's their last loss. And prior to that, they lost to the Bengals. They lost to you guys.
They lost to the Patriots. I mean, granted, it was in New England. Granted, it's a rivalry game. But you don't lose to New England. We're 2-8 for crying out loud. We don't even have a pot to piss in, for Christ's sake. Although we do have a nice, big, beautiful screen to watch our team suck on. You know, I mean that's like it is what it is. God, I don't even want to talk about it. It's terrible. But
told you, stay away from that.
But you know what? Look at the Jets. The Jets are even 4-5 for crying out loud. The Jets defense is legit. Top
Yes.
One of the top defenses in the league. It's keeping New York in every football game. That kid Wilson, he's no good. He's no good. Have you seen Aaron Rodgers? Have you seen Aaron Rodgers throwing the football after having Achilles surgery?
Are you excited about that?
Well, like I said, the beginning of the season, I did put a little bit of a little bet down on the Jets to win the Super Bowl. If he can come back and the Jets have an opportunity to play in the playoffs, game on.
Really?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you think that it's a good possibility that he might come back this year later on and rescue the Jets and be like Broadway Joe?
Rescue. I mean, you never know. You absolutely never know. Could it happen? It definitely could happen. It could happen. The Jets are 4-5 with Zach Wilson, for crying out loud.
Let's review something real quick.
4-5 with Zach Wilson. Come on. Zach Wilson, while you're looking that up, Zach Wilson completes less than 60% of his passes. He has a whopping 5 touchdowns and 6 picks. He's been sacked 33 times, fumbled 9 times. He averages 207 yards a game. No quarterback. Those are probably worse than Trent Dilfer numbers when Trent Dilfer won the Super Bowl with the best defense ever in the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, come on. Yeah, no, they're not. They're not. They don't have a chance with that. You can't leave. You can't leave with those stats.
Let's see something real quick. So we're looking at the Jets schedule.
Yes.
Okay.
So coming up, they got Buffalo. This weekend they have Buffalo. Then they got Miami. Then they have Atlanta at home. They have the Texans at home, right? Followed by the Dolphins again at Miami, home against the Commanders, at Cleveland, and then they're going to wrap it up at Foxborough It's, I mean, it's not an awful schedule. It's not terrible. I think they can beat pretty much. It's tough with the divisional games. I mean, they should not have lost to the Raiders. The Raiders should have been an automatic go in there, take the dub. They lost to
let-
Aiden O'Connell, for crying out loud.
So we both agree. We both agree. I'm sorry to interrupt you. We both agree that Zach Wilson is terrible.
He's trash.
However, what do we think about where do we stand with the head coach?
With Robert Saleh,
Yes,
I'm a fan.
you are a fan of his.
I think he's doing a hell of a job.
He's doing a hell of a job.
I mean, you got to look at these games, Smitty. Other than the Chargers, who pretty much smacked them, they've been in every single game. They've been in every game. They beat the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
They were supposed to beat the Broncos. They did.
But we both agree that the Eagles are not the team that they were last year.
To start off the season, no, but right now they have the best record in the NFL.
And who have they played?
The Eagles have a tough schedule this year. I mean, obviously they play us, and I think we have to put that into perspective as well. Is that the schedule this year it's been tough for obviously both of our teams.
Oh yeah.
You know, they snuck by us. They beat the Vikings. They beat the Bucks. They had a tough one against Washington, divisional game. They beat the Rams. They were supposed to. They lost to the Jets. That was the one loss they've had all year. Then they bounced back and beat Miami by 2 scores. They beat Washington yet again by 7 at Washington. They just handled the Cowboys, by 5. They're off. They were off last week. This week they have to travel to Arrowhead to take on the Chiefs. Now,
that's gonna be a good game. I like that.
It'll be a good game, but like, where are we at with Kansas City this year? Kansas City has not been impressive at all, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
I mean, they're toting
I mean, they have had some injuries too.
You know what they're missing? They're missing the 1A receiver. They do not have a 1A. They're missing that guy, and they're trying to find him. They haven't found him. Travis Kelce is obviously the only show in town right now for Kansas City. They got this kid, Rashee Rice, who's having a pretty decent year. Rookie. But after that, what do they got? They got nothing. I mean, Rashee Rice, rookie, second leading receiver on the team. You know what I mean? There was all this hope for this kid, Sky Moore. He hasn't done shit. Kadarius Toney. Do we even want to talk about that guy?
That brings a smile to my face.
I mean, hey, great drop, right? But he had a lot of hope and praise, not working out.
Nope.
Not working out. I'll tell you what, who has impressed me though this year was Isaiah Pacheco. Isaiah Pacheco stepped up.
Oh yeah. But that kid's got talent. Since last year, he's had talent. You know what I mean?
No, he does. I mean,
he went to Rutgers, right?
Isaiah Pacheco. He is he a Rutgers guy?
Yeah.
Yes, he is. Yep. He's a New Jersey boy. So, yeah, no, I mean, as far as Kansas City goes, that'll be a good game. That'll be a good game this weekend. That game is that Sunday night? November 20th, 8:15 p.m. Is that Sunday? Is that Sunday or Monday? Monday night. Hey, finally a good Monday night game. Did you watch the game last night between Buffalo and Denver?
No.
I didn't either. Well, I did. I did watch the first half, and I have Josh Allen as my quarterback in one of my fantasy football leagues. I'm in 3. I needed him to do okay. He did okay, and I was able to win by 3. But I feel like, was Vegas that obvious in like slowing down the Bills last night? I mean, was Josh Allen in Vegas's pocket? Like, what are they doing? What are they doing?
Yeah, I know.
Honestly, the NFL hasn't been an impressive product this year to me.
I tell you what, I mean, maybe, and a lot has to do with both of our teams sucking. So,
Yes. Oh, good.
you know what I mean?
It could.
Because I'll be honest with you, I haven't been that much into football this year.
Right.
And it all starts with our teams. You know,
Yeah.
when your team is struggling, I mean, it's hard. It sucks. Like you say, you try to psych yourself up. I've lost that a long time ago this year. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
I mean,
tough, you know.
how are you going to go into a season and kick the can and say, you know what, we're going to suck? We made moves. We got a guy. We got an OC who's not very good.
No.
And I don't know if you watched the show on Sunday, the Gamblers Anonymous show, but towards the end, Brian brought up a very solid comment. And that comment was basically stating the importance of Tom Brady in that organization and what Tom brought to the organization.
Absolutely.
Because where are we at now? Like, where are we at?
And Ray, I mean, we've discussed that before on this show, you know, and that's the only thing that I've been saying. You know, Tom Brady was the one, you know, and everything is uncovered now. You know what I'm saying? I think we have the answer now. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, like nothing against Bill Belichick. He's one of the greatest coaches. You know, as a matter of fact, if you want to take it way back, he came out of the Giants organization. Of course, he's one of the greatest coaches. You know, Bill Parcells, all that.
He's a Parcells tree guy, which I respect Bill Parcells and who he is and what he was. I mean, he took us to a Super Bowl as well, 96. But, I guess the thing is this. If Bill's going to go, I want Bill to go. I want him to be set up the same way Brady was, right? Brady obviously left New England. He went to a loaded Bucs team on both sides of the ball, completely loaded. Send Bill to a team that has a chance to win right now and see what Bill does. If Bill goes in his first year and he wins a Super Bowl with an organization that can provide him with everything that he needs, and it's already there. They're just missing that guy to get him over the hump. I wish that for Bill. Just because we can say, you know what? Bill did it too. So, I mean, it's just mind-blowing to think to me that, Brady controlled it that much. I mean, is it the Patriot way or is it the Brady way? Seriously, what is it? It's got to be the Brady way, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I mean, it's got to be. I don't know. It's one of those things. We got to wait and see what happens. I'm not waiting and see what happens. I mean, it's got to change for Bill to get this camel off his back. We're past the monkey stage. Now it's a gorilla.
Yeah.
He's carrying a lot of weight right now about, his whole legacy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So listen, Ray, let's go to the AFC North.
Yes.
Got the Baltimore Ravens 7-3.
Ooh.
The Pittsburgh Steelers 6-3.
Yep.
Cleveland Browns 6-3. And the Bengals at the bottom 5-4.
Wild. I think it's been a wild year this year. In the
unpredictable.
Extremely unpredictable. One thing I'll say, I do love Baltimore. I love Baltimore. Oh, Randy joined us over on YouTube. What's up, Randy? What's going on, man? He asked what the thoughts are on the Bills firing their OC. So I think they needed to make a move, and Ken Dorsey's out the door. So we'll see what Joe Brady can bring. But yeah, definitely they needed to do something. So first to go is that struggling O. But go back to the AFC North, Smitty. I do love the Ravens this year. Lamar's been on fire. The Ravens defense has been pretty solid. I don't know what the hell happened in Cleveland actually that was at home against Cleveland in that second half. I mean, you're up 20-9. You're up 24-9. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God. I never thought that Deshaun Watson, and I mean, that dude was limping all over the place. I never thought Deshaun Watson would bring that team back. But you know what? They couldn't stop the rush.
And you know what's funny is that Baltimore's 3-2 at home, and away they're 4-1.
You would never like home field advantage.
Against the division, they're 2-2.
Yeah. So
Steelers are 2-0 against division.
yep. So and that I mean, I remember the beginning of the year, and I don't know if you remember this, Smitty, but I did say that the Pittsburgh Steelers were going to be the worst team in that
Vividly.
division.
Vividly. I remember that. I remember that like it happened yesterday. You want to know why?
Why?
Because you're a Steelers hater. Let's keep it real.
I'm not a hater. Smitty, you can't hate a team that you always beat, right?
I mean, you can still hate them. You can still hate them.
No. I'm not going to hate on the Steelers. I like, you know what? I like the black and yellow. I like their uniforms.
You like
I
the black and yellow?
School, I like that old school logo they got there. Like, no, I like the history of the Steelers, especially against the Patriots. I love that history. We have them on the schedule coming up. You know?
Oh no.
Yeah, we got Pittsburgh coming up. So what does that mean for the Patriots? It means that we're going to get another dub, and we stink. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I think. But I'll tell you what, that Pittsburgh defense is legit. By the way, Jalen Warren, who was the number 2 back behind Najee Harris, Tomlin named him the starter. He was a starter, and he had a pretty good game. He had a pretty good game last week. So Pittsburgh, I guess, is a problem.
I knew they were going to be tough. Cleveland Browns 6-3, 4-1 at home. That's one of those teams that's dangerous, man, because you never know. I mean, who's their running back now?
Who?
Cleveland Browns for the Browns.
Jerome Ford, and you have Kareem Hunt.
Yes,
you have Jerome.
Yep.
You have Jerome Ford, and you have Kareem Hunt. So,
and they have a solid defense too.
Solid. They have a phenomenal. That might be, Smitty. That might be the best defense in the NFL. It could be. Listen, that is a solid defense. Solid as a rock defense.
And then you got the Bengals. I don't know if it's your boy Joey Burrow's leg. I don't know what's going on with that team, man.
Bengals are a funny team. Because they started out cold. They got hot. Everybody jumped on the Joey B bandwagon. T. Higgins you couldn't find him in the first few games of the season. He was banged up. Jamar Chase started balling out. T. Higgins started balling out. I don't know what happened this week. I mean, hey, they played Houston. By the way, Houston's been on fire. Been on absolute fire.
CJ
Stroud, an Ohio State quarterback.
Listen, that kid, talented kid. And what I appreciated the most about him is that he made a remark, which I agree. He said, everybody wants to be a baseball player. And I agree. You know what I mean?
A baseball player.
Oh, yeah. He very talented kid. I mean, listen, Houston Texans fans, I know they've suffered for a while. My boy Tippy, he's a big Houston Texans fan.
I mean, but have they suffered for a while, though? They haven't suffered for that long.
I mean, let's go back.
Go back to Deshaun Watson days. Houston was the top
prior to
division. All right, fine. Fair enough.
Prior to Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
Who do you remember their quarterback prior to Deshaun Watson?
They drafted Carr, right? Wasn't Carr there?
Yes.
Carr was their franchise quarterback. You know who I do remember, though, that was very, very good for Houston was a guy by the name of Arian Foster.
Yes, the running back.
Arian Foster was nasty.
And then he got hurt.
They also had probably one of the top, I would say top 10 receivers, but Andre Johnson was a stud.
And Hop.
D-Hop. Oh, yeah, of course, D-Hop. Yeah. Yep. David Carr, that's the guy.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But DeAndre Hopkins, Andre Johnson, just to name a few, they were a very good. They had some players.
Yeah, because I mean, if we go back, that division right there, Ray, we're looking at, so the Colts, back in the day, that was the Sheriff's team, the Colts with Peyton Manning.
Sure.
Tennessee Titans, they were in the mix. Even the Jags were in the mix.
Mark Brunell led.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Coughlin led.
Yep. And then you had the Texans,
Yeah. I mean,
So
that division has definitely seen a lot of change, I feel like.
are,
It was
are you
pretty dominant. I'm
Yep.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it was pretty dominant, Indy for so many years with Peyton.
Yep.
And then it kind of, it switched up, and Jacksonville was a team that kind of mixed itself in a little bit. Then it was Tennessee for a little while. Before it was Tennessee, it was Houston. Now it's Jacksonville's turn again, even though I think would they make it to one AFC championship game?
Yeah.
The Jags.
Mm-hmm. Are you surprised about the Colts?
No, not really.
They're
The,
5. At home, they're 1-4.
now that's surprising.
And away, they're 4-1.
Yeah, that's a little surprising to me. I think the Colts are one of those teams, though. I mean, their offensive line has been built, right? Zach Moss has been going crazy. Jonathan Taylor comes back now. Taylor is pretty much taking the bulk of the carries back, as he should. But I mean, Gardner Minshew is more than a serviceable quarterback. He's a good quarterback. He's got a chance now that Anthony Richardson obviously has been out. But I was waiting for Minshew Magic to get on the field and do his thing. And you know what? They're winning games right now. They're winning games. Their defense is mediocre at best. But now you have Shaq Leonard. He's getting back to full health, playing the middle of the field. He's still not a 3-down backer like he used to. And, you watch the Colts play, and he is definitely upset he's not out there on third downs. But Kenny Moore and the DB, he's having a good season. Colts could be a tough team. They could be.
The Colts have beaten away at Texans 31-20. The Ravens, they beat the Ravens.
Yeah, those are
Baltimore.
Those are good wins. How do you lose to the Rams? You know what I mean?
It was a close game. It was a close game, 29-23.
Listen, they put up 39 points against Cleveland. That's
Panthers win, yep.
Yeah.
And then against you guys.
Yeah, I mean, you better beat us. I mean, but look at that game, 10-6.
Mm-hmm.
10-6. That's coaching right there.
That's
Bill's
coaching.
doing
Defense.
Bill's doing a great job coaching. He's doing a great job coaching. We just can't.
Oh my God.
We just can't seem to do much more than that. So, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, Smitty? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I look forward to the draft.
Look forward to the draft. And then it's like the draft is not a guarantee. That's the other thing about the draft I don't really get too excited about.
It's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee. But you know what? We have to be optimistic. We got to look forward to something, Ray.
But what's like, honestly, when I look at the draft, it's like the defensive players I feel like are more successful than the offensive players. You know what I mean? At least as a Patriots fan and watching what we've done with some of the offensive players that we've drafted. Kyle Duggar, who was a reach from Lenore-Rhine, second round, Division II, that I've never even heard of. Maybe it's an NAIA school at this point. I don't know. But that dude's a stud. Like, it was a great pick. Super reach. But that other guy, that we've drafted 2 wide receivers in the first round in the last 20 years. One was a kid by the name of Chad Jackson out of the University of Florida, who was a flop. And now we drafted the kid out of Arizona State, N'Keal Harry. And he stinks too. So we have a hard time. We have a hard time with offensive players. Quarterbacks, I mean, oh God, I don't freaking know. Anyway.
So listen, we got Kansas City. We spoke about them. They're not the Kansas City like we're used to, seat watching, dominating teams or whatever.
But let me add to that real quick. They aren't the same Kansas City team that we're used to. In 2 ways. Number one, they're not that offensive powerhouse that we're used to. But also, they're not that defensive powerhouse that we're used to. Kansas City's defense is a problem this year. Kansas City's defense is a problem.
Now, let me ask you that. With that said, do you see them going far in the postseason?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep, I do. Watch out. Kansas City can stop anybody. if Patrick Mahomes gets that offense rolling and he starts telling his receivers and putting his receivers in the right position on the field, Kansas City is going to be another tough out this year. There's no team that I look at right now in the NFL. If I had to pick a team in the AFC, it's the Baltimore Ravens or the Kansas City Chiefs. That's going to be the AFC Championship.
Now, let's look at the Vegas Raiders. Antonio Pierce. That's my man right there, man. I'm rooting for him, man. I'm excited for him. You know what I mean?
That's your guy.
Yeah, definitely, man. He did great with the G-Man, you know. But as a coach, do you see the Raiders? I mean, granted, you know, they have that what's his name? The quarterback O'Connell is his name, I think.
Aiden O'Connell.
Aiden O'Connell.
Aiden O'Connell, yes.
I think the defense will step up for the Raiders. They're 4-1 at home, 1-4 away. Where do you see the Raiders? Do you see them actually reaching the playoffs?
No. And honestly, I would love to see the Raiders make the playoffs. I'd love to see the Raiders make a push to the playoffs. The problem is with the Raiders is that there's too many other better teams than the AFC. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Even that division between the Chargers, which Chargers might have the best offense in that division, right? They're established with Justin Herbert. Austin Eckler's a phenomenal.
I'm convinced that team is just cursed, man. I'm convinced because let's be honest, you know, we're taking it back to the Antonio Gates, the LTs,
Phillip Rivers, sure.
Yes, Drew Brees.
Keenan McCardell.
They've had some good teams, Ray.
No, they have.
They just can't get it done.
But you know what the problem was back then? Everybody had to go through New England. You know what I mean? And it was unfortunate for the Chargers, but when you have to go through New England, it is what it is. It was like the Bulls, you know, in the 90s. That's the Patriots for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they pretty much got unlucky. And then they have this guy named Brandon Staley, who's the worst coach in the NFL.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about that? You know?
Mm-hmm. So I don't see the Chargers going far.
No, I don't either.
The Broncos, definitely, they're not going anywhere.
But listen to the Raiders, right? Since we were on the Raiders quick.
Mm-hmm.
They have the Dolphins, Chiefs, Vikings, Chargers, Chiefs, Colts, Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, the Broncos have been on fire. The Broncos are on fire right now. Is Russell Wilson coming back to life?
No.
He's not?
No, I just think, you know, the Broncos have played some teams that are going through some difficult times right now. The most recently was the Buffalo Bills, who I don't know what's going on. I mean, you mentioned some good points as far as their injuries, some key injuries that they've had.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the rest of the team? What about the offense? You see a lot, you know, Stephon Diggs, you know, he's upset. I don't know if he's not getting the ball as much as he would like.
I mean, I'm sure that's what it is.
You know, and I don't know. Maybe they need a change. Maybe them firing the OC and whoever they got, maybe they'll bring a different climate to the team. You know what I'm saying? As far as the offense is concerned,
little spark. Maybe they need a spark.
Maybe.
Well,
I mean,
firing Ken Dorsey, that's one way to do it.
We'll see what happens. You know?
Yeah. No. Oh, yeah.
So the Broncos. No, I don't see Russell Wilson. I mean, they haven't played a good team. Like when they play a good team, and you know, again, you'll see Russell Wilson scrambling for his life. Then we can talk about the Broncos.
But listen, he was scrambling for his life against Buffalo, and he had a couple big runs for first downs. He extended plays. He did not turn the ball over.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he had a phenomenal game. By the way, before they beat Buffalo, they beat the Chiefs in Week 8.
Yep.
You know, they beat the Packers, which is whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I mean, they played the Cardinal. Oh no, that's preseason. Yeah.
Yeah, they've won 3 games in a row.
They've
And,
got
and
some.
you know,
They've got some tough losses. You're talking 3 points in 2 games against the Raiders and the Commanders. They got blown out by Miami, destroyed. Probably that was embarrassing, but they
mhm,
bounced back and beat the Bears, lost to the Jets, lost to the
mhm,
Chiefs, beat the Packers, beat the Chiefs, beat the
mhm.
Bills, and in this Sunday night, the 19th, they have to take on. Then they're at home against the Vikings. By the
Against the
way,
Vikings. Let's
that's gonna
go.
that's gonna be a good game. That's gonna be a good game, I think.
Is
Did
Josh
you
Allen turning into Brett Favre?
Josh Allen is not turning into Brett Favre. Although his
You know what? I mean, Randy does make a good point because Josh Allen, I believe, he's thrown 19 touchdowns and he's got 11 interceptions this year.
he has
This year.
he has the most interceptions thrown in the last 6 years. He's got like 70 picks in the last 6 years.
And
So
who's behind him? Dak Prescott?
Dak is back. Let me give my computer some juice, Smitty, or else you're gonna lose me.
Okay. That's a good point, Randy.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's definitely not a bad point. But like I said, he has thrown the most interceptions in the last 6 years. I believe he's got like 70 picks in 6 years,
Yeah.
which is definitely terrible.
So, okay,
Definitely
so
terrible.
Denver. So you see Denver doing big things.
I'm just saying Denver has been on a little bit of a heater.
Yeah.
They've won their last 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like anything else, it's a game of runs and streaks. And
Yeah.
listen, that confidence builds. You know, you got to think they're 4-5. They're 4-5.
They're 4-5.
They're really only 1 game out of the wild card right now. The wild card, you're looking at the Steelers, Browns, and Texans, 6-3, 6-3, 5-4.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
You know, who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, the Patriots are the worst team in the AFC. Makes me feel good.
Hey, it happens, man.
Makes
So
me
listen, let's go ahead and move to the NFC.
Yes.
Philadelphia Eagles are 8-1.
Yep.
Dallas is 6-3. The Commanders are 4-6, and the Giants are 2-8.
Yikes.
It is what it is. I honestly want the Giants to tank. Do not win any more games, man. I'm rooting for the. Yes, you are absolutely correct, my friend, Randy Oscar. The Giants are having a tough year, tough.
Brutal.
But so I would like the Giants to tank. I'm rooting for the Bears. I'm rooting for the Pats. That's it. No more wins. No more wins. That's it. You know.
Come on, Smitty. You're not rooting for the
Sure.
Pats.
Why not? I want my team to tank. I said it a long time ago.
I mean, okay. Who do you draft this year? Who do you draft coming?
I told you Drake.
You're going. Oh, you did. You did say that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Drake May.
Yeah.
Man, what are you gonna do with that $40 million man? You draft Drake May.
They have to figure something out. They have to figure something out. You know what I mean? I mean, they made a terrible mistake. And listen, I don't wish bad upon anybody. I don't wish any professional athlete to get injured. However, maybe this is a good thing that happened to Daniel Jones. Maybe he'll assess that he's not cut out for the NFL as a quarterback, as a start. Who's gonna draft him? Who's gonna take him? Who's gonna take him, Ray?
Oh man,
who's gonna take him?
Great question. I don't
know
have.
What I mean? So I mean, the guy is smart. He went to Duke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, maybe he'll evaluate the situation and decide to go somewhere else. You know, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. You know, but they got to move forward. That's it. You know, they got to work on that O line. Definitely work on that O line. You know, and then figure out what's going to happen as far as getting a number 1 receiver. Saquon Barkley. I don't know. I mean, you know, the kid's got talent, but he gets hurt a lot. You know, So there's a lot of questions for the New York Giants.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you there. It just, God, it's tough. Listen, Dak Prescott, possibly the best quarterback in the NFL right now. Rain Dakota could possibly be the best quarterback, front runner for the NFL MVP. Coming off
Why do you say
monster 400-yard passing game against
the New York Giants?
that New York divisional game, fully healthy New York football team, fully healthy.
Fully healthy. What are you talking about? Kayvon Thibodeau. We lost Kayvon Thibodeau in that game.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you told me that. I don't have to pick up a defensive end.
Kayvon Thibodeau, he was hurt. We lost one of our cornerbacks, I believe is Banks. Yeah, bro, that team, I'm not trying to make up excuses for the Giants or anything like that because they're terrible overall.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yes. I agree with you as far as Dak Prescott shining against these terrible teams. But then when he gets smacked in the mouth against really good teams like the Eagles, the Kansas City Chiefs, in the playoffs, I don't know against what team he's going to go up against. We know the rest of the story. We know how that goes.
Do you know who the Cowboys remind me of?
Who's that?
They remind me of the Miami Dolphins. Seriously, because the Dolphins can't beat anybody either. The Dolphins, I don't think have beat a team over 500.
No.
Since last year.
Yeah. They're 0-6. And that's the reason why I asked you if you still believe that the head coach is still a genius.
Offensively, yeah. But they didn't put up too many points against some of these tough defenses. But you know what? It's a learning game. It's a learning game for Mike, and Mike needs to get his team prepared. Maybe he's playing chess right now, and he's just kind of waiting for the playoffs before he dips into his bag.
Literally playing chess.
Literally.
So we know about the NFC East. We got the Eagles and the Cowboys.
Hold on a minute.
Go ahead.
There's a guy that I want to bring up at the NFC East that I'm extremely a fan of.
What's that?
Sam Howell. Sam Howell has been balling. He's been balling out. Washington has been in trouble at the quarterback position for years.
Since I believe, let's take it back.
I mean, I'll go back to RG3. That was the last time they probably made a decent push in the playoffs. RG3 got hurt. His career ended up kind of, his career went to shit after that.
Yeah.
They played him. They shouldn't have played him. But Sam Howell is that dude, Smitty. Sam Howell is that guy. Sam Howell is the future, the franchise, the face of Washington. And for some of them Commander fans out there, one in particular, our guy Kev, I'm happy for that guy because every team he likes stinks.
Okay.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment. But yeah, we can move it to the NFC North unless you'd like to add anything to that Washington Commanders team.
No, I'm just like flabbergasted as far as Sam Howell.
So do you want to hear some of Sam Howell's numbers?
Sure, why not? So
Sam Howell, he's completed 67% of his passes.
Right.
He's thrown for 2,700, almost 2,800 yards. 17 touchdowns, 9 picks. He's been sacked.
9 picks?
9 picks.
How many times has he been sacked?
47 times. What does that tell you?
Damn.
His O-line is not very
That tells me that I thought that my team didn't have an O-line. Yeah. And I know my team doesn't have an O-line.
No, they're in desperate need. They're in desperate need of an O-line. But the guy's playing some football. He's doing this while he's getting smacked in the mouth.
Yeah. It's too bad that his team is terrible, though.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. Welcome to the NFL. I'll tell you right now, you want to send me a trade for Sam Howell, I'll take him.
Send him over. Mac Jones? You go straight up trade? Mac Jones for Sam Howell?
Straight up.
Oh, wow.
This is year 2 for Sam Howell.
I can't believe this.
If I said rookie,
I cannot believe this.
First full season. In the NFL. Come on. Come on, let's go.
Mm.
Can't
All
can't
right.
do it. So okay, let you know what? We look at the leaders, right? Let's look at the leaders in the NFL. Let's look at passing leaders in the NFL.
Yeah, let's look at them.
And who we got? You know who leads the league in passing yards?
Who's that?
Sam Howell.
Does
Do you
he?
know that?
No.
Tua leagues.
You know what it is? You know what it is? That my team has won only 2 games.
Yep.
Only 2 games this year. And that's against Arizona, which we came back and it was just a miracle that we came back in that game. And then we played the Washington Commanders.
Yep.
And that game was sad. It was like really, really sad to watch. But I did watch it. And I don't know, like you mentioned, their O-line. I mean, this dude must have gotten sacked. Like we look like you always keep bringing the Baltimore Ravens defense of 2000. What was it? 2000, 2001
Yeah.
against that team.
Yep. That was a nasty team.
And
They
then I
destroyed
think we
the
play
Giants.
them again. We play them again this weekend coming up. I'm hoping that Sam Howell goes off.
He will.
I'm hoping.
No, he
I'm
will.
hoping.
He has been. He has been going off. He leads the NFL in passing.
But
yards.
like I said, Ray, when I was watching him against my team, that game,
Yep.
I didn't see that.
I'll tell you what, I saw him against the Patriots. I saw what he did against the Pats.
Oh, so he put on a show against your team.
He puts on a show against everybody, though. I mean,
Ray,
Smitty,
Ray,
once
Ray,
again, he leads
against
the
my
league
team.
passing yards.
Against my team, Ray, it was 14-7, I think, the final score in that game.
And
If I'm not mistaken.
Was that a fully healthy team that you had?
My team hasn't been healthy all year long, Ray.
What week was that? What week did you play Washington?
Saquon wasn't playing. Saquon wasn't playing.
That doesn't matter anyway.
But it does, because a lot of people like to say that Saquon is like the majority of Giants' offense.
Yes.
No?
Yeah.
Okay, so it does matter.
Yeah, I guess. I guess it
But
matters.
anyways,
Matters a
yeah,
little bit.
no, definitely, man. I'm you know what? Hey, man, if he does good against the G-Men and the G-Men lose, I'm good. So let's go to the NFC North. Detroit Lions 7-2. The Vikings 6-4. The Vikings have won 5 in a row.
Wow.
Green Bay 3-6, and the Bears 3-7.
Yeah. Tough division. Tough division right there. Lions obviously running away with, well, not running away with it, because the fraudulent Vikings have turned it around.
Fraudulent.
The fraudulent Vikings have turned it around.
I think that they have like they've been re-energized, I think.
By what? What is
I think
them? They lost their best wide receiver.
I know. Yeah, that's true.
They're on their third string running back in Ty Chandler.
Yeah. But I think that Josh Dobbs, coming in.
What a sign.
Yeah.
Listen, it's a good story. Josh Dobbs is a good story. I'm rooting for the kid.
Yeah,
not really
me too.
Not a big fan of the Vikings, but I don't hate them.
Yeah, I don't hate the Vikings. I mean,
they're kind of one of those teams. You know what I mean?
They're there. I mean, that's one of those teams. To me, when you say the Vikings, it's like they've never won a championship.
Yeah.
They've never won a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing that comes to mind. No disrespect to the Vikings fans, but that's the only thing that comes to mind to me. You know what I mean?
No, I agree with you.
So
I agree with you. The Vikings are, but you know who I'm looking forward to? I think Justin Fields might be back this week. I hope he comes back this week, because I need him back this week for my fantasy.
So you know what, Ray? I'm glad you brought that name up, because here it is, the Chicago Bears, Justin Fields, right? Do you think the Chicago Bears, if of course they'll be the top 3 in the draft, do you think they get a quarterback?
No. Now, you have a guy that can throw the ball. You have a guy that can run. You have a guy that is still learning the NFL. I mean, poor seasons. By the way, the Bears are unstable. They're one of the most unstable franchises in the NFL over the last 10 years. You don't do that. Justin Fields has the ability, he has the arm, he has the potential. Just get him in the right offense. Get him, what does he do best? Is he a pocket passer? Do you move the line? Do you shift the line, and get him out of the pocket and get him moving so he's able to use his feet and his arm and see the field better? Like, you coach the player, you know what I mean? Like, coach him. Put him in the best position to win. And I feel like the Bears have not done that this year. Towards the end of last year, Justin Fields was looking like, he looked amazing towards the end of the year last year. This year, they just kind of fell off. But they're not putting him in the best position to win. Obviously, he's been banged up. He's fractured his right thumb. I think he's back this week.
You think he's back this week?
I believe so. Who the Bears have this week? Tough one at Detroit. What a game to come back. What a game to come back to, though. Because that's going to be you're going to have to score at least 25, 30 points to keep up with the Lions, because that's a high-powered offense right there, Detroit. Quarterback, having a great year. Amon-Ra St. Brown is an absolute stud. Montgomery, and then Jahmyr Gibbs. Montgomery. He was pretty much a non-factor this past week. He had no tackles. He did nothing.
Really? So they neutralized him.
They pretty much, yeah. He didn't do shit, which was disappointing because he's one of my guys on my fantasy team that put up a goose. Yep, they really took him out of the game this week. Montez Sweat, non-factor. So nice, but a great ad for the Bears. I mean, because Montez Sweat was definitely having a very good season over in Washington. Obviously, they lost the Commanders lost Chase Young to the 49ers. Just what the Niners needed, another defensive player.
Tell me about that. Oh my God.
Holy shit. Dude.
So yeah, I mean, and that's the reason why I bring that up, because this is another team that it's been a long time since they had like a steady, decent, consistent quarterback. You know what I mean? The Bears.
Yeah.
And I mean, some analysts are saying that it's hard to see Justin Fields with the Bears in 2024.
You know what? Dan Orlovsky, you see the guy that's saying that? Big Dan.
Yeah, one of them.
I've
read. Go ahead.
I respect Dan Orlovsky. I think he's a heck of an analyst. I like his breakdowns. When he's high on a guy, he sticks by him, though. I'm surprised he's not. Maybe he's just not a high on Justin Fields, but I think Fields is legit.
Right. I agree.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Get him back on the field. I got a fantasy football championship to win, and I need him starting. I'll do it. This is for all the wrong reasons, Smitty.
So let's go down to let's go to the NFC South.
The worst division of football.
We got
the worst division in football.
We got the New Orleans Saints at 500.
Garbage.
Hey, so did Derek Carr get hurt the last game they played, or?
I think he's been kind of playing hurt already.
Yeah.
New
Orleans Saints, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, ATL Falcons, and Carolina Panthers. Jesus.
Yeah, he's got a shoulder. So he's got a shoulder injury. It looks like he's going to be fine. But God, did he get banged up? He got banged up against Green Bay, I believe.
Yeah.
And I think maybe the Minnesota game as well. Oh yeah, that was this past week. So he's got banged up twice. He's got banged up 3 times actually this year. But Jameis Winston came in.
Mm-hmm.
He played pretty good. I mean, the Saints were getting their butt kicked. The Saints were getting
Oh
their
yeah.
butt. I want to say Minnesota was up 27-3 at one point.
Oh wow.
27-3. And you know what? Jameis Winston made it a game.
He wants to play, man.
Listen, man, he had his eyes corrected. He had his eyes done. He got some LASIK. He got the LASIK, right?
Yeah.
I mean, heck, come on. I'm trying to give this guy an out right here. I'm trying to revive his career. He got the LASIK, and then bang, what do you know? He ended up having a decent game. So
there it is.
yeah,
There it is.
Yeah, you heard it here. Let me see what his stats were. Let's see what old famous Jameis, the Crab King, 13 for 25, for $122, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So
2
maybe
interceptions. Okay, all right.
Yeah, maybe the LASIK didn't work as good as I thought it did. I did see him make a good throw to Chris Olave. By the way, catch of the year. Catch of the year was Chris Olave in the corner of the end zone. Unbelievable catch. High pointed the ball. The guy got mossed. And his footwork on the sideline to get those 2 feet in was probably one of the best catches I've seen all year long. Yep.
So it's safe to say that division is up for grabs.
Trash. Trash. None of those teams belong in the playoffs. They all stink. All of them. Bucks.
And
trash.
then last but not least, okay, so clearly NFC South is trash.
You know what the best part about that division is?
Yep.
There isn't one. Let me stretch. Maybe the Tampa Bay Bucks defense. Maybe.
And then lastly, we got the NFC West, San Francisco Niners. They're getting healthy again. Just like you said, they just got another defensive player, which makes them stronger. You got the Seahawks with Geno Smith.
No.
The LA Rams and the Arizona Cardinals.
So another shit division, honestly, in my opinion. Like, yeah, it's a shit division. Another shit division. It's kind of unfortunate because the NFC the NFC's not good. There's a few teams. There's maybe like 4 or 5 teams that are maybe not really. No, I mean the 49ers are legit, right? Debo's back, and what an addition Debo was for that San Francisco 49ers offense. Christian McCaffrey is, by the way, his streak was broke this weekend. They tried to get him in the end zone on that 4th and down towards the end of the game. I don't even think he caught the pass. If he did, it was a yard short. But 17 touchdowns in a row, 17 weeks in a row with a score, I believe. Ties the record, didn't break the record. Christian McCaffrey is an absolute freak. But Debo was the story. He's back. Niners offense exploded. Blowout city. Jacksonville didn't stand a chance.
That was a blowout.
In Jacksonville, too, by the way, which super disappointing to be a Jacksonville fan for that game. Seattle, though, Seattle is kind of like that team that is superseding expectations. They superseded expectations last year. Geno Smith came out of nowhere. I don't know. I think like reality's setting in a little bit with Seattle. I think you're going to see the regression. Obviously, they had a hell of a game, hell of a matchup with the Commanders this past weekend. This week they play the Rams. And if you are not familiar with the Seahawks and the Rams rivalry, the Rams own Seattle. We'll see what happens this weekend. It's in LA. Seahawks are a 1-point favorite on the road, but I'm not a guy that's going to jump on.
All right, that covers the NFL. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see y'all next week on The Hook.